Since the beginning of time, people have always looked for a reason for why things are the way that they are, most times looking towards a higher power. The ancient Greeks did just this. They believed in mythology. The ancient Greeks believed that in the beginning, nothing existed, and from the nothing came Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus, the sky. Uranus and Gaia had 6 children, 3 sets of twins who became known as the Titans. Of the Titans came Kronos. Kronos became the new ruler after overthrowing his father, and he then went on to have 6 children with his sister Rhea. Those children being Zeus, Hestia, Hades, Poseidon, Hera, and Demeter. Gaia and Uranus had prophesied that Kronos would one day be overthrown by a son, and so, as every one of his children were born, he swallowed them, except for Zeus. When Rhea was pregnant with her 6th child, she hid away and had her child Zeus raised by nymphs. To conceal what she had done, she wrapped a rock in swaddling cloth and gave it to her husband. Zeus grew up to be a strong young man and returned to defeat his father in the battle between the Titans and the Olympians. Because Zeus defeated his father, he became the king of the gods, and the 11 other Olympian gods took their place on Mount Olympus with him. Where does mythology come from? Mythology originated in Greece and was then adapted by the Romans. Classic Greek mythology, or ancient Greek religion, evolved into Hellenism for the longest time, and then the religion converted into Greek Orthodox, the main religion of Greece today, after the Romans invaded. This conversion got rid of the gods entirely. The 12 Olympian gods include Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Apollo, Artemis, Dionysius, Aphrodite, Hephaestus, Hermes, Ares, and Hestia. Zeus was the king of the gods, who was also the god of the sky. The Greeks believed that he was behind storms, tempests, intense darkness, and regulated time. Poseidon was the god of the sea. He created the first horse in hopes of winning over Demeter. With his weapon, the trident, he caused earthquakes and tsunamis. Hades was the lord of the underworld and ruler of the dead, as well as the god of wealth. He as well created earthquakes, much like his brother Poseidon with his pitchfork. Hera is the queen of the gods, goddess, patron of childbirth and marriage. Hermes was the god of commerce, the messenger of the gods. He was the protector of travelers, athletes, and thieves. Hermes also invented the lyre, which he gave to Apollo. Apollo was the god of music, known as the archer, the god of healing, giving the science of medicine to man, the god of truth, and the god of light. His most important daily task was to drive his chariot in order to move the sun across the sky. Aphrodite was the goddess of love, desire, and beauty. She represents affection, sex, and the attraction that binds people together. Artemis was the goddess of chastity, the hunt, virginity, the natural environment, and the moon. She helped her mother give birth to her twin brother Apollo and became the protector of childbirth and labor. Ares was the god of war. He represents raw violence and is disliked by his parents and many others. Athena is the goddess of reason, arts and literature, and intelligent activity. She invented many things, including the bridle, which allowed men to tame horses, the flute, the plow, and the ship. She is the embodiment of wisdom and military strategy. Hephaestus was the god of blacksmiths, metallurgy, sculptors, fire, and volcanoes. According to the myths, he was thrown from Mount Olympus because he was crippled. He was also the husband of Aphrodite. Hestia is the goddess of the hearth, domestic life, and family. The ancient Greeks believed in and worshipped the gods because they gave a reason for the things that happened in the world. If there was a flood or a volcano erupted, the Greeks explained it as the gods being angry with them. Another prime example of this is that Prometheus was the one to create the first human, as well as give the gift of fire to humans. Now you may be asking, why is this set of ancient beliefs important to us today? What influence does it have on the world? The answer is a lot. Ever heard of the Nike brand? Named after the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Valentine's Day would be nothing without the god of love, Eros, or as the Romans called him, Cupid. And Apollo 13, you can probably guess who that was named after: the god Apollo. The names of the planets are named after the god's Roman counterparts. For example, Ares was Mars, Aphrodite was Venus, and Hades was Pluto. The poor guy was booted out of the solar system. The Olympic Games, that are held every 4 years, were originally held in honor of Zeus. Most people know about the Titanic, but not many people know that the Titanic was named after the Titans, powerful but doomed. And ironically, even though the Titanic was the largest vessel of its time, it sunk in 1912. Greek mythology has also had a large influence on the entertainment of the world. Numerous books have been written on Greek mythology or have themes involving mythology, including the popular series by Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson, and the Olympians. These books follow the adventures of a young demigod, Percy Jackson, and his friends. Personally, one of my favorite Disney movies, Hercules, is based off of Greek myths. Many adaptations of Hercules have been made, including the most recent one, including Dwayne Johnson. Mythology is also prevalent in music. The calypso music of the Caribbean is named after the nymph Calypso, from the tale of Odysseus, written by Homer. The Greeks were also the first to develop and practice astrology. The tradition of horoscope astrology was developed and practiced in the late Hellenistic period in and around the Mediterranean. Many constellations were named for characters in classic mythology. Though not necessarily practiced today, classic Greek mythology or religion is still widely important and appreciated in today's society.